solve polynomial equations, we want to move terms so that we have an equation set equal to 0. And then we can either factor or use the quadratic formula if that's possible. And then we set factors equal to 0 and solve if we use the factoring method. Find all real solutions of 6k to the fourth plus k squared equals 1. For this example, we'll factor. But first we want to move terms to get the equation set equal to 0, so we'd subtract 1 from both sides to get 6k to the fourth plus k squared minus 1 equals 0. Once we have that to factor, we multiply the coefficient of k to the fourth by the constant term. 6 times negative 1 is negative 6, and we want the factor pair of negative 6 that adds to the middle term coefficient, which is 1. That factor pair is 3 and negative 2. So we split the middle term of 1k squared into 3k squared minus 2k squared and rewrite the other terms. 6k to the fourth plus 3k squared minus 2k squared minus 1. And then we group. From these first two terms, we can take out a GCF of 3k squared. Taking that GCF out, we're left with 2k squared plus 1. From these second two terms, we can take out a negative 1, so that again we have 2k squared plus 1. Then the factored form is 3k squared minus 1 multiplied by 2k squared plus 1. And throughout this whole time, really this equation was set equal to 0. So now to find the solutions, we set each factor equal to 0. So starting with this first factor, 3k squared minus 1 equals 0. To solve that, we add 1 to both sides and get 3k squared equals 1. Then divide by 3. We get k squared equals 1/3. And then take the square root of both sides to get k equals plus or minus the square root of 1/3. Setting this second factor equal to 0, we would have 2k squared plus 1 equals 0. Subtract 1 from both sides. 2k squared equals negative 1. Divide by 2. We get k squared equals negative 1/2. And then take the square root, and we would get k equals plus or minus the square root of negative 1/2. However, since this is square root of a negative, these two solutions are actually imaginary, and this example asks for all real solutions. So these are not real solutions, and our real solutions are here instead. So our solutions are negative square root of 1/3 and positive square root of 1/3.